Ahoy there, me hearties! This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hey, welcome to podcast 34. It's Eric with the Two Old Pirates, and I just want to welcome everybody back. I wanted to go ahead and start off by saying we reached 400. We reached 400 subscribers. I want to give a special shout out to two young ladies. Lindsay and Brianna are two students of mine that heard about how much I was trying to get to 400 for the Two Old Pirates, and they worked their tails off behind the scenes so that this last week of school before the break, they could go ahead and let me know, hey, we're the ones who did that. So they were out and about all over social media behind my back without me knowing, trying to get the Two Old Pirates to 400, and we're over 400 now. It is nice to see the numbers go up and stuff. That we made it to 400 before the end of the year. I was so excited about that. Podcast 34 here is going to be kind of a short one. So if you like music, I need to hear from you. All right? We all have our different likes and dislikes. I don't like a whole lot of country. I don't like most rap. But I do have a basic knowledge about music that I've been listening to, like we all have since we were kids. And you could sit there and say there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs that we all say, oh man, this is one of my favorites, this is one of my favorites, this is one of my favorites. So what I want you to do, listeners, as a Christmas present to me, is I want you to comment on this video with your top 5 favorite songs of all time. No questions asked. So you're gonna have to do some thinking. I had to do some thinking. So I'm going to give you my top 5 of all time. And yeah, there's a lot of songs that I've listened to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So how do you cut it down to 5? So it's difficult. So I don't want you to just type in 5 songs that you like today, that you're like, oh, I just heard that last week. That's my favorite song of all time. I know some people can do things like that. I really want you to think. I want you to take, some time, but I want you to comment. Don't send me messages on my phone. Don't send private messages on Facebook doing these are the fun. Comment on the actual YouTube site, so other people can see it. And maybe there might be a bunch of you that actually have the same likes. So please do that for me as the Two Old Pirates, a Christmas present to us. Let me know your 5 favorites in order. You don't have to tell me why or anything, just the 5 favorites. And let's see if we have some that actually match up with other people. You probably don't have any match up with me. I'm old and I like certain things. All right, so we're going to start off now. Number 5, song called Under the Pressure by The War on Drugs. Now, this is probably the newest one on the top 5. You talk about all those years of listening to music. So it's a song from 2014. The first time I heard it was in 2017. My son was a freshman in high school and had received the chance to go to the prom that year. So him and his date, of course, were too young to drive. So I was the chauffeur for the night. And we went to Outback Steakhouse. So while him and his date had their romantic dinner together, the old man went over by the bar and had 4 or 5 iced teas because I don't drink, suckers. So I'm having those iced teas, and they've got baseball games on and all these different things going on and stuff. And I'm trying to, and I hear a song in the background. Never heard it before. Don't know what it is. And but I can hear this over under the pressure. And I'm all like, what is this song? I don't know what this song is. So I try to remember Under the Pressure, drive them to the prom, go in. And then I get on my phone, start looking up Under the Pressure, and I find this band, and it's called The War on Drugs. Never heard of them. And so I had to wait till I got home since it was so loud at the prom, and I listened to it, and it's one of those things. I remember the moment where I was, not just because it was special for my son, because it was prom and stuff, but literally the song just, there's certain songs that just have this element of magic ability to just overtake your soul. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. And the radio edit is great. The live versions on YouTube, amazing. Their live versions of this song run the gamut of 12 to 18 minutes. They're musicians. They don't just play a 4-minute song and move on to the next thing. It's literally every piece of the song has a certain part to it. So my number 5 is Under the Pressure by The War on Drugs. Amazing song. Love it. It's made it into my all-time top 5, and it's sitting there, and I don't see anything that's going to push it out anytime soon. Number 4 would be Looking Through Patient Eyes by PM Dawn. Now, some of you, if you know who PM Dawn is, they were an early 90s rap group that hit it pretty big from like 91 to about 94. And they kind of slid off due to different reasons. But they were rap with a lot of like soul in their music. It wasn't just, just spit and bars and stuff like that. Looking Through Patient Eyes is a beautiful song. It's amazing. They sample Father Figure by the late George Michael. And the first time I heard it, I was in Austin, Texas, visiting a friend at college. I was still in college, and this song came over the radio. And I was like, what is this? When songs hit you and you're just like blown away, you're just like, I've never heard anything like this. Heard Looking Through Patient Eyes and was hooked from the moment. From the moment that it came out, I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing music. It's made by PM Dawn. It was a number 6 hit. It was actually a hit. Sadly, the lead singer / rapper, Prince B, he died several years ago. And so PM Dawn will never be again. But yeah, it's in my top 5, and it's not moving anywhere. It's been there since 93. It ain't moving anywhere. Number 3 is a song that I never would have found unless it wasn't for a friend of mine. In 1986, a friend of mine said, hey, you should borrow this cassette and listen to this band. They're called Level 42. And I was like, who's Level 42? I don't know who they are. They're some British band or something like that. And they said, you're going to like this one song called Something About You. So my number 4 song is Something About You by Level 42. From the moment I put that cassette in the cassette deck, and I was not quite 15, hooked. I'd never heard anything like that. I'd heard tons of music, different bands, collected cassettes left and right. And I was blown away. There was something unique about this song. It was just amazing. And to this day, when I hear it come on the radio, I still get goosebumps. I'm just like, this song is so good. It wasn't attached to anybody or any like moment like Under the Pressure. I remember, it's an amazing song. It was their biggest hit ever. It hit number 7 back in 1986. And I hope that you'll give it a listen. It's an amazing song, and I've loved it so much and listened to it so many times that it is in the top 5, and it's at number 3. My second favorite song of all time is from my favorite band, bar none. There's no band that touches this for me. It's called Ballerina Out of Control by the Ocean Blue. I've been following this band since the first time I saw their very first video on MTV in 1989. And I've been in love with this band ever since. I have every single thing that they've ever recorded. I have rarities. I have promo items that were given out to radio stations way back in the 90s that I've bought. I have albums that they recorded before they were big. This is my band. Everybody has their band. This is my band. And, I've played it for my students over all the years and stuff, trying to get some extra sales for the guys and stuff. I've been lucky enough to see them in concert 6 times, and each time I've got to meet them, and they're terrific guys. They're really down-to-earth guys, and they're still putting out amazing music. So my number 2 of all time is Ballerina Out of Control by the Ocean Blue. And I want to put as a side note, back in the old days, back in 1991 when this came out, we didn't have the type of radio in Rockport, Texas, that you could find this type of song. We had all the regular type of things. You had R&B, you had dance, you had rock, you had classic, and then you had country. So the only way that I ever found out about this band was after being hooked on them since 1989 is every single Sunday night, for those of you that are too young to know this, if you wanted to hear anything that would be considered alternative, you had to stay up very, very late on a Sunday night and for 2 hours watch a show called 120 Minutes, which was 2 hours of alternative music from all genres. And this was the only time that they ever played on MTV. And I would stay up every single Sunday night for those 2 hours hoping that either they'd play an old song by the Ocean Blue or they'd play a new song. There was no internet back then, so you didn't know when albums were going to be released. And I remember the night I was in my bedroom and I switched on to MTV, and sure enough, the guy from 120 Minutes comes out and says, but leading us off tonight is a brand new album by the band out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, the Ocean Blue. And I freaking went crazy. So, that's a long time ago. That's almost 30 years ago. And I remember the spot I was at when I got to see Ballerina Out of Control, and I've been hooked on that song ever since. So please give it a listen. Give their whole catalog a listen. So the Ocean Blue, I love you guys. Amazing music, and I'm so thankful that you're still making it. Number one. You got to get to number one. The number one song of all time, and Mr. DeWolf, Eric DeWolf, anybody, if you know me, how you know me, is What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. There is no other song that has ever come close. It came out in 1979. It hit number one. It was a huge seller. The lead singer, Michael McDonald, is still my favorite singer of all time. Nobody compares to him. I've seen him probably 30 times in concert. I've seen the Doobie Brothers probably 30, 35 times. He was the lead singer of the Doobie Brothers. They released it in 1979. It hit number one. And if you just listen to, I mean, it's a freaking awesome song. It's just, I feel like a little kid every single time I'll be driving, and it rarely comes on the radio, unless it's on an oldies channel or a yacht rock or something like that. But when it comes on, I feel like I'm an 8 or 9-year-old kid again listening to it for the first time. All these songs are the type of songs that when you listen to it on the radio and it comes on, you're excited. You're like, oh my God, it's playing. I can't believe it's playing. Even though you have it on MP3, probably CD, probably cassette, I even have that album on 8-track. I have the album, the old LP, and I have it on a 45. Yeah, I'm freaking crazy about What a Fool Believes. And you can talk to anybody that knew me growing up. You can talk to anybody who knows me now. My wife, she won't even go to the concerts with me anymore. She can't stand listening to Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers due to the fact that that's all I listened to for decades. And What a Fool Believes is still the number one in my heart. And it's Michael McDonald singing it. Michael McDonald could basically sing the phone book and I would listen to it. I mean, he's that talented. So I just want to go ahead and end with my top 5 should at least be given a chance by y'all. And maybe you guys will pick up on one of them. You might be hit by, Under the Pressure, if you like more modern sounding music and stuff. Looking Through Patient Eyes is a beautiful song. Something About You is just amazing. And of course, Ballerina, Control, and What a Fool Believes are just, they're the pinnacle. Those two songs have never really changed in the last 30 years as my 2 top songs to go to. And I've listened to them literally thousands of times. Thousands. And not once, and this is how you can tell if it's one of your top 5s, not once have I ever been bored of hearing any of those songs. Whether I play them or it's a rarity where I hear it. If I'm taking a shower, it's, hey Siri, or hey Alexa, or hey Google, whatever it is. Hey, play What a Fool Believes. Play Ballerina Out of Control. And my wife will be like, but there's so many other songs. You've got so many CDs and stuff. I'm like, but those are my go-to, babe. Those are my go-to. So I hope that you enjoy this short podcast. I hope that you'll listen to these songs and give them a shot. And I hope that you will go ahead and in the comments, put down your 5. I hope that you'll do that for an old guy that's coming close to Christmas. I'm so tired. But I want to once again thank the 2 young ladies, Lindsay and Brianna, for helping me out. So why don't the rest of y'all act like Lindsay and Brianna and get 2 Old Pirates to 500? Do you think we could do that? Think we could get it to 500 before like my birthday in February? That would be an awesome birthday present. This is an awesome Christmas present from these 2 young ladies to get me to 400. And to get to 500 by February, oh, well, let me tell you something, Holmes. That would be freaking amazing. I hope that you guys enjoy this podcast, and I hope that you'll listen to some of these songs and put yours down. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Christmas time. Peace out. 2 Old Pirates.